The history of education from 2000 to the present. Before we get into the timeline of education from 2000 to the present, it is important to know key information about this time. It is clear that at this point in history, schools are really run by the government, and the purpose of education is to get students to the appropriate place they need to be at. Today, students are being taught in hopes to raise test scores. They are also being taught so they can be prepared for the future, and that they will be at a college-ready level at the end. Each state is responsible for making decisions on what they teach their students, alongside of what the government wants students to learn. All states in the U.S. require their children to attend school, so every child in America should receive an education. Teachers are seen as guides for students in modern times. The student's role in the classroom is to learn and improve on all levels throughout the school year. Unfortunately, due to where lower class and minorities tend to live, students tend to be placed in low-performance schools. To help with this form of segregation, many states have used busing as a strategy to help. Busing is a practice of transportation of students within or outside their local school districts. Now let's hop right into the timeline. In 2001, the No Child Left Behind Act was approved by Congress. It was then signed into law by President George W. Bush on January 8, 2002. The No Child Left Behind Act primary purpose is to ensure that students in every public school achieve important learning goals while being educated in safe classrooms. This act mandates high-stakes student testing, makes schools accountable for their students' achievement level, and provides penalties to schools that don't make adequate yearly progress towards the goals of the No Child Left Behind Act.
It's time to come together to get it done so that we can truthfully say in America, no child will be left behind, not one single child.
In 2003, the Higher Education Act is again amended and reauthorized. The Higher Education Act was first passed in 1965, and since then has been rewritten 8 times. Its purpose is to expand the access to higher education for low and middle income students. It also provides additional funds for graduate students. In 2004, the Individuals with Disabilities Improvement Act is reauthorized and modified. This went into effect on July 1, 2005. They made modifications in the IEP process, increased authority for personnel in special education, and it aligned the Individuals with Disabilities Act with the No Child Left Behind Act. This act also requires schools to use the response to intervention approach, which is early identification of students at risk for specific learning disabilities. RTI provides a 3-tiered model for screening, monitoring, and intervention using research-based instruction. Its overall goal is to reduce the need for special education services. The next clip shows how Fall Hamilton Elementary School uses the RTI approach by doing daily check-in and check-outs with their students.
Adults are meeting with kids every single day, and it's not their classroom teacher. We have 41 students on check-in and check-out here.
You're going to do great, aren't you?
And we identify the students that just need a little bit more support, where they're struggling meeting some of their requirements on an educational level, but more of a social and emotional level as well.
Jumping forward to 2009, the Common Core State Standards Initiative is created. In 2010, President Barack Obama proposes changes to the No Child Left Behind Act. He also reauthorized the Elementary and Secondary Education Act to then become the Every Student Succeeds Act. According to the U.S. Department of Education, the Every Student Succeeds Act advances equity by upholding critical protections for America's disadvantaged and high-need students. This was officially signed into law by President Barack Obama on December 10, 2015. One thing that makes this time period in education so different from the rest of history is school shootings. It is a sensitive subject, but has changed so many things in schools today. All ages have been affected by school shootings in America. There are now regular active shooter drills, and most states require an armed security guard on every school campus. There's a new school in Fruitport, Michigan that was built to reduce the impact of school shootings. Fruitport High School was a $48 million construction project. It was given oversized cement barriers and hallways for hiding and impact-resistant film on windows. With the new decade coming up, we can start to wonder what new things will happen in education in the years to come.